A lot of people think turning 40 is like hitting the peak. But what if that's all wrong? What if it's actually the launching point? The moment where the choices you make are more powerful than they've ever been, really shaping the whole second half of your life. So let's dive in and figure out how to master this decade.
Yeah, and let's start with this fundamental truth right here. This is not about catching up. It's about using the wisdom you've already earned. That experience, it's not baggage, not at all. It's actually your greatest asset for whatever comes next.
It's so dangerously easy to just slip into these routines that kind of quietly hold us back, right? They limit our potential without us even realizing it. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to break down 5 common traps people fall into in their 40s, and this is the important part, the course corrections you can make to build your absolute best chapter yet.
All right, first up, and look, this one is completely non-negotiable, your health. Seriously, it is the foundation that everything else, your career, your relationships, all your dreams, is built on.
Okay, so look at this. This really shows the shift, doesn't it? In our 20s and 30s, our body is kind of like a background character, right? It forgives all those late nights and questionable food choices. But after 40, whoa, it takes center stage. It's not just along for the ride anymore. It is the ride, and it demands a consistent, conscious investment from you.
So what does that mean? It means you have to start treating your body like your most valuable asset, period. That means finally scheduling those checkups you've been putting off, making exercise and good sleep totally non-negotiable, and consistently fueling yourself with food that actually helps you. Think of it less like a luxury and more like essential maintenance for the CEO of your life. And guess what? That's you.
Okay, so let's move on to our second course correction, and you'll see how this builds on the first one. It's all about getting past the temptation of, well, comfort. By the time we're in our 40s, we've usually built these routines that feel super safe. But that safety, it can easily become a cage.
And that's the trap right there. That predictability that used to feel like stability, it can start to feel a lot like stagnation. I mean, sure, staying in your comfort zone means you avoid risk, but it also means you avoid growth, you miss opportunities, and you skip out on all the stuff that actually makes life exciting.
I love this quote because it just nails the mindset shift we need. It's not that your dreams got smaller, it's that the excuses for not going after them got bigger. So think about it. What's one small risk you can take this week? Is there a new skill you could start learning, even just for 15 minutes a day? Growth doesn't stop at 40. In fact, it can accelerate if you intentionally push for it. All right, number 3. This is a mistake that creeps in so quietly you barely even notice it's happening. We let our most important relationships slide. Life just gets so busy, right? And connection is often the very first thing we sacrifice. Just look at this comparison. It's so true. We prioritize the urgent stuff, the tasks, the deadlines, the responsibilities, over what's truly important. But let's be real. Deep, lasting fulfillment in life, it doesn't come from having a zeroed-out inbox. It comes from our friendships, our family, from real, meaningful human connection. That's the stuff that makes life rich. And the fix here isn't complicated at all, but it does take intention. Just reach out a little more often. Don't just hear what someone is saying, but actually actively listen. Put the phone down and be truly present with the people you're with. Please, don't wait for some big crisis to remind you of what really matters. Okay, on to our 4th correction, and this is a biggie, your finances. It is so tempting to think, I've still got plenty of time to get serious about this. But in this decade, procrastination comes with a really heavy price tag. Seriously, let this sink in for a second. Your 40s are pretty much the make-or-break decade for your financial future. And you might be asking, why? Well, it all comes down to the magic of compounding. Every single dollar you invest now will work exponentially harder for you than a dollar you invest 10 years from now. This isn't just about money, It's about buying yourself freedom and peace of mind down the road.
So it's time for a clear-eyed review. Time to get serious about your savings, create an actual plan for retirement, and strategically knock out those high-interest debts that are just draining your resources every month. Trust me, your future self is going to thank you for taking control today. So just imagine this for a second. Your health is solid. You're growing again, learning new things. Your relationships feel strong. Your finances are finally in order. You've got this amazing foundation. So, with all that secure, what's the one thing that could still hold you back from making a big change? Well, it almost always comes down to one single powerful emotion. And that brings us to our final and maybe the most profound course correction of all, choosing courage over fear.
You know those fears? The fear of failure, the fear of what other people will think, the fear of starting something totally new? They can feel so much louder in midlife. It feels like we have more to lose, doesn't it? But here's the secret. That fear only has the power that you give it. You don't actually have to obey it.
This right here might be one of the most important things to really get. Courage is not about being fearless. No way. It's about feeling that fear, looking it right in the eye, and then taking the next step anyway. It's all about moving forward in spite of all that uncertainty. So there you have it. Those are the 5 course corrections. Investing in your health, stepping out of your comfort zone, nurturing your relationships, securing your finances, and finally, choosing courage over fear.
Ultimately, this whole journey is really about wisdom, isn't it? It's about getting to that point where you just know, with this deep sense of clarity, what really deserves your precious time and energy and what simply doesn't anymore.
And please, never ever forget this. Society might try to tell you a different story sometimes, but the truth is, your value, your wisdom, your entire perspective, it doesn't decline with age. It deepens. It becomes more potent, more powerful.
So consider this your official permission slip. Permission to stop living the life you felt you were supposed to live and to start building the one that feels authentic and true and right for you right now.
Look, the past has taught you so many lessons, and the future, it's just waiting for your courage. Your second act has officially begun. The only question left is, what are you going to write?